Okay. Anybody hear me? I'm here.
Here.
Present.
Here.
Okay, you have invocation. Please stand for invocation. Councilman Petrolog.
Stand if you are able. You can bow your heads, please. May we be more than just adequate, but truly excel at our work. We ask this in the name of the one who presides over us all. Amen. I also ask that you keep in your prayers the folks from California. They're going through a bad time right now. The fires keeps the winds keep blowing, and we I don't think we've had any death yet, but just keep them in your prayers, please. Thank you.
Okay, please pledge allegiance. Right hand over your heart. No hats. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We're going to start with a presentation. Patty Bradley, you meet me in the middle.
You help.
Okay. Well, this is something we do for people that have been in our, uh, done some special things for this city as an employee. And Patty Bradley, Special Event Program Advisor. This is a recognition for 36 years, 1 month. Dedicated service to the City of Miami Springs Park and Recreation Department.
Oh.
Presented this day, the 28th day of October, 2019. But, the plaque is beautiful. Here, congratulations. The plaque is beautiful, but sometimes I don't know a person like this who's done so much, not only because she got paid, but because she loved the city and she loved the children and the people and the big children like me to do the things she did over and above. I would just like to make this as the best presentation for you and good retirement. And we'll see you around, I think, right? Okay, congratulations.
You can't give it to me that easy.
I'd like to get counsel, all of us, with her.
I just want to bring up Omar Luna, Recreation Director, to say a few words about what Patty has meant to him since he's been here. I know for me, I don't know Parks and Recreation Department without you. So that's why we're bringing her part-time back. So she'll still be around helping us. But I want to thank you for your 36 years and for putting up with, well, let's leave it like that. I was going to say Dan, but thank you, Patty. Thank you for everything. Omar?
Well, I'll try to keep it short, but I've had some tough interviews in my life. One of them being when I got the job here with the previous city manager, Ron Gordon, and Jim Borgman. But my toughest one was my second day of work when I walked into the trailer about 8:30 in the morning, and there was nobody there. And Patty says, "Hey, let's have a chat," right? And she basically interrogated me, which was fine, but I never forget her words when we were done speaking. She goes, "We're gonna be all right, kid. We'll get through this," all right? And she said to me, "No matter what, I'll always have your back." And I said, "And I'm always gonna have yours." And to be honest with you, for the past 10 years, she's had my back. And everybody knows here how great of an employee Patty is. We don't have to, she's one of the best I've ever had, if not the best. But she's a better person, all right? There are days I walk into that office, and she knew right away if I was having a bad day, and she'd go back to my office and be like, "You want to talk? What's going on?" There was one day I walked in there extremely sick, and I had an allergic reaction to medicine I took, and she went to my office and says, "You need to go now," because I looked that bad. And I went to the emergency room, and she basically saved me from a massive surgery. all right? So there's a lot more to this than people think. People retire. I've had chats with her about my father retiring, and I've told her, dude, enjoy retirement, go on trips, because my dad got really sick after he retired, and now he can't even fly or nothing like that. So we've had talks that you guys can never imagine how much she means to me, not only as an employee, but as a person. And we've had discussions that we've had ups and downs before, but that's what it is. I spend more time with my employees than I do at home, right? So as a person, you guys might not know Patty like I know her, how Kayla knows her, but this is a much better person than she is an employee, and we all know how good of an employee she is. So enjoy your retirement. We'll still be there. And
I think so. She's gonna work part-time. My understanding is she's gonna be back part-time.
Have a presentation from Commissioner Bova, but he
Bovo.
couldn't make it today.
Vovo.
Vovo. He couldn't make it today, so you got the floor.
Good evening, council members and mayor, staff, and citizens. My name is Alina. I work for Esteban Bovo. He's the commissioner for District 13, also known as Steve Bovo. Our offices are at 1490 West 68th Street. And the reason for our visit today is the census. We're having the census this year. Every 10 years we get counted, and that's one of our most important civic duties. And unfortunately, many times a lot of people don't want to get counted, they don't want to divulge their information, but it's really, really, really important to get counted, and that's why we're here. The information that you give the census is held for 72 years, and nobody will ever see that. They share the data, and that's what they use, but your personal information will be closed for 72 years. No one can look at it for 72 years. So it's really private. It doesn't matter if you're a citizen, a resident, if you don't have a legal status in the United States. We need everybody to get counted. We need children, babies, older citizens, older people. Everybody, if you're alive and you're a human being, we need to count you. If you have a cousin that lives 6 months out of the year at your house and she lives the other 6 months in Puerto Rico, we need to count her. Because this is the money that comes from the federal government for all of our infrastructure, for our schools, for our affordable housing, for senior centers, for transportation. All the monies that come from the federal government, it's a formula that they have according to the amount of people that we have in each county. Also, we will probably acquire a couple more congressional seats because we've grown so much in Miami-Dade County. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but anyhow, that's what it is. And this year, it's going to be different. It's going to be different than previous years because in previous years, they would send you this big form that that you would fill out and you would send it in. This year, they're sending you an invitation to go online and to do the census form. So a lot of people, especially the elderly, are not sometimes computer savvy, and that's where, you know, the cities come in. I know that you guys have a great program for the seniors, and maybe, I don't know if you have any computer classes or not, but it's a great opportunity where you can have staff come in with laptops and maybe help them fill it out. We're going to be doing something countywide with the libraries, and I believe that the Miami-Dade County Public Schools, they're also going to be doing something with their libraries, opening them up so that people can come and use the computers, because a lot of people don't have computers. And also, when you receive the invitation, you can also call in and tell them to mail you the form, or you can give the information over the phone and they will guide you through it. The day for the census count to be in is April 1st of 2020. We still have some time, but we're trying to come out and speak to the different communities to let everybody know that it's important to get counted. The information is going to be kept private for 72 years, and it's really important because every penny, every person that doesn't get counted is money that we're leaving on the table. 10 years ago, the census for Miami-Dade County, I think we were counted at like an 82%, something like that. So that other, the rest of the percentage is money that we left at the table. It's less money that we have for infrastructure, for roads, for schools, for all the great things that, you know, government can provide. So is there any questions? Do you have any questions for me that maybe I can help?
Through the chair, where is the chair?
Right here. Right here. I
Got
didn't want to keep getting up and down.
Gotcha. You just said something a minute ago that has got my attention.
Okay.
A lot of people don't have computers.
Yes.
Help me with that.
A lot of people don't have computers.
No, I'm aware of this, but what are you going to do about it?
Well, there's the invitation that comes in the mail.
Yep.
Is an invitation to get counted, but it also has a telephone number where you can call in and they will mail in one of the long forms, or you can do the application over the phone.
So what the Census Bureau is hoping on is that most people will do it online.
Absolutely.
And then those that don't, I understand you're sending people right to people's homes.
Right. The census will if you don't get counted by the 1st of April, they will start knocking on doors.
Somebody will come.
Right. Somebody will come and knock on doors.
Thanks.
But, you know, at the end of the day, this is all taxpayer dollars, and, you know, it costs money also to do the census.
Of course.
So the more we help out, the more monies that we have for infrastructure and other goodies. So.
I have a question, Mayor. Alina, so when is the first day that we can be counting?
The first day that we can be counted, I believe the applications are going to be sent, the invitations to participate in the census are going to be sent out around mid-March. So as soon as you get, as soon as they start coming out, we can start going online and filling out our forms, or calling in to get a form sent in, or to do it over the phone.
So how long is the process? A month?
No, actually, it's like 15 days, you know.
That's
Everybody
right.
has to do it at the same
Wow.
time, you know. It's a lot, you know.
Yes, yes.
For me, because it's the new thing that it's online,
Right.
you know, I guess we have the capability to be able to receive them, you know.
But has it always been 15 days? Or I remember years and last time
They
it
would,
was like,
I think that they would send the form in March, the paper form in March, and then you would send it in, and you had to send it in by April 1st.
right.
April 1st has always been the deadline for, I gave you those little calendars. I have some for the people here so that you can remember your
days.
census day.
So you're here advocating for the county to vote, but this is a statewide thing. We need
No,
to
this is,
vote.
no, this is not only
National.
statewide.
No,
this
no,
is
I know it's a
national.
national. No, no, I know, but it's a statewide
Right.
because
I'm
the
here
state could lose money.
advocating, every county is, you know, every county is trying to do their best so that
Right.
they can get the most monies. So it's really important to get the most monies, you know, and it doesn't matter what kind of status you have legally, that none of that matters. We all need to get counted. We all need to get counted and give the information so that, you know, the government can really know what's happening and move the country forward.
Thank you.
Mayor, I have one question.
Sure.
Alina, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
It helps us too, the community, because whatever information we get back from the census helps us better know our residents and have more, hopefully more funding available to help our residents. But is there something that you can, because March is still a long time off, is there something that you can send us that we can put on our website so that as it gets closer, we can start possibly through social media and just having the information posted on our website? I think it's really important for people to know that when they get the invitation, you know, a lot of people, like we said, you know, with the online, they get put off or they don't have computers, but knowing that I can just call this number and tell them, you know, speak with someone or ask them to send me the form. Those are really important.
Yes, absolutely. We
So
can
if you could send us
you
something to our city
electronically.
manager, and then we can
Absolutely.
post that on our website.
Happy to do it.
Thank
Happy
you.
to do it.
Are you, Mayor, one last question, thank you. Are you coming to our senior center anytime soon? know-
I am coming to your senior, I believe November 5th.
Okay.
I will be there to speak to the seniors and give them a little bit more information.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you
Thanks.
for your time.
Thanks for coming.
Anna?
Can I read the memo for a
Sure.
minute before you bring her up?
Anna Hume.
Before Anna comes up?
Oh, boy.
We were recently informed by the Center for Digital Government that the city of Miami Springs was named as a finalist in the 2019 Government Experience. The award recognizes the achievement and best practices of state, cities, and counties for using innovative tools to maximize citizens' experience in receiving the right information at the right time. This is a great accomplishment since we were up against the entire nation. This award was made possible due to the huge efforts by our city's public information specialist, Anna Isabel Hume. Since her hire in May 2017, Ms. Hume has worked hard at improving the city's overall communication with our residents. Some of the improvements began with the implementation of the city's Facebook and Instagram pages, along with making enhancements to our other social media sources that were already in place, such as Twitter, the monthly Springs Connection, and our local channel 77 News. She has also increased additional awareness with creative event flyers by broadcasting them throughout the city and on various television monitors within several of our municipal buildings. Additionally, she has created short video clips which are displayed on these monitors, in addition to being uploaded to the city's YouTube channel, which all deliver interactive information to our community. Congratulations, Anna, on a job well done. There were a total of 6 top winners and 5 finalists. Miami Springs was actually the 3rd finalist, behind the city of Detroit, Indianapolis, and Marion County, and then city of Miami Springs, then city of St. Petersburg, Florida, and Sugar Land, Texas. So that's a huge accomplishment. Hopefully next year we'll be one of the top winners.
This is the Government Experience Award, 2019 winner overall city government experience. The city of Miami Springs, a finalist, and it's to Anna Hume, and it's from Center for Digital Government. That's who presented it. And congratulations. You're on TV, watch. Watch yourself. Oh, you be sure.
I would like to share a few words. It'll be very short, I promise.
Why?
As what do you say? Why? As local government employees, I think one of our most important job is to serve our residents in this community. And I am grateful for allowing me the creative freedom, City Council and City Management, to do so, not to only deliver information accurately and efficiently, but to do so with technology. I think it's extremely important in this day and age to capture our public so they could understand what type of information we're delivering. And to do so, I thank you all for allowing me to do that. And I would like to read something that was published recently by Western City Magazine. It's titled 10 Changes Shaping Local Government Communications. Okay. We are our own news channels, and everyone else is too. Unfiltered, direct access to our audiences has rendered the press release a less critically important tool. We no longer rely on the media to interpret and distribute our organization's news and perspectives. Along with that, change comes higher expectations for transparency, immediacy, and credibility in our social media channels, e-newsletters, and websites. In addition, we must be prepared to respond when a video post about a controversial local event or city officials' actions goes viral and attracts widespread attention or criticism. I am proud to serve this community. Thank you so much, and I am happy to receive this on behalf of the city.
Got it. You got it. Thank you. I know you're giving me this, but I don't want to. It's a. Great. I got something to ask you. I got something to ask you. You could put on the website about the census and things that we need
I
to
can do anything you like me to.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Go ahead. You heard
Absolutely.
the presentation,
Yes,
okay?
definitely.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much. Can I
All
get a
right.
picture with council? Just stand up.
Yeah, you bet you can.
No, we'll come by.
Thank you, and city management.
And Willie.
Can, where are we at here? Can we have Annabelle Hernandez come up? Fernandez. I told you. Kevin, how you say it? Frias, and Nicole Burrito. Broto. You son of a gun.
Barroso.
She said it to make me say it. What a stinker.
I'm a stinker.
They're here because a certificate of recognition, and they had an incident at the pool, and I'll let you explain it she could tell you. No, who wants to talk about it? Go ahead.
I'll talk about it. What do you want me to explain, though?
Explain
what happened?
Yeah. What you're here for.
Okay. Jesus. All right. So basically, we had one of our high school swimmers try to swim a 50 underwater, and he unfortunately passed out, and his teammate was trying to help him out of the water, and he called for help, and thankfully I had all my coworkers react well, and once I blew my 3 whistles to activate the emergency action plan, we safely removed him from the water, and although it was not a pretty sight of what we saw, we were able to manage everything under control, and we were able to get him to breathe, and he was fine after the ambulance and all the paramedics came. He was in good hands, and we were just there. We were first responders, but thankfully everything turned out okay, and he came back to the pool the next day to thank us for what we did, and it was just a really good experience to know that he was in good hands and that we were able to be there and help him. And nothing went bad. Okay.
So in other words, there's heroes everywhere, and we're heroes everywhere, and these young people here did their job, didn't panic, called rescue, and right away called rescue, and basically probably saved his life. Yep, probably.
Yes.
Okay, here I'm going to give you your certificate. They all say the same with different names. It's appreciation. You got anything for somebody who can't see close?
Like a pair of glasses, you mean?
It's for your exemplary and professional response to an incident at Miami Springs Aquatic Center, October 22nd, 2019. Presented this day, the 28th day of October, 2019. This is yours. Nicole. I won't say your last name again. Thank you, girl.
Mayor,
Thank
I
you,
think,
girl and fella. Thank you very much.
Mayor Morris.
First of all, I know that what they did that day is amazing. You know, these are young professionals, and they're able to react immediately and take care of a situation that's very critical. It's not easy. We're talking about someone's life or death. You know, it's a near drowning. It's hectic. A lot of things are going on, and these professionals handled it like you can never imagine. We were very ecstatic of how they did what they did and how they handled it. With that said, they did an amazing job, but that doesn't happen unless we have the leadership that we have that's here today. James Dean, Kaylin Smith, and Anthony Fernandez are aquatic supervisors. And they host trainings every 2-3 months. Every month, they're on top of them as much as possible. They understand that for me, one of my biggest fears is the aquatic center, because it is, you know, at the rec center, if someone sprains an ankle, they'll live. It is what it is. At the aquatic center, catastrophic injuries can be serious or even death. But they have an amazing leadership. They have a great rapport with the staff, and they've done a good job of setting an example for them. And you guys did an amazing job, and just thank you, not only from myself, from the department, but from the city. You guys did an amazing job. I'm very proud of you guys.
Wow, very cool.
I want them to come up too. I want the supervisors
Hey,
and
Caitlin.
leadership to come up, take the picture too. Come on. James, I coached you, James, back in the day. You can say.
I love the microphone.
All right, I want to get out of the picture. You guys take the picture with them and maybe put this is your staff at the aquatic center that took care of business. Congratulations. Y'all could go home now.
Who was the person they saved?
Yard of the month? You want to do the consent agenda? Read them out just like that.
I'll make the. You want me to say anything about that, or that's personal? Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Okay. Okay.
You can always say she's addressing a family situation.
Okay. For the record, Councilwoman Soprano it couldn't come family situation.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully everything's all right.
Okay. What happened here? Okay.
We're on
right.
E, sir.
Open forum. Anybody sign up for open forum? Okay.
No, the yard of the month.
Yard month's not here today.
Not here? Okay.
We'll go through the consent agenda real quick, and then we're going to have, we're moving up 11A for the water and sewer situation, okay?
Yep.
So I'll entertain read off a little bit of information on the consent agenda.
This is a recommendation by Public Works that council authorize the issuance and/or execution of a purchase order to Hector Turf utilizing a cooperative purchase with the state of Florida, contract under contract 211-000-000-15-1, which is attached, in the amount not to exceed $40,421 for 2 Toro Groundmaster riding mowers, as funds were budgeted in the fiscal year 2019 budget. Recommendation by Public Works that council authorize the issuance and/or execution of a purchase order to Kenworth of South Florida utilizing a cooperative purchase with National Joint Power Alliance under contract number 081716 KTC, which is attached, in an amount not to exceed $142,674 for a 16 cubic yard rear loader garbage truck, as funds were budgeted in the 1920 budget. Recommendation by council, the council waive the competitive bid process and approve an expenditure of $222,000 to Greater Miami Caterers, Inc. for the catering services for the City of Miami Springs Senior Center's nutrition program for the elderly, pursuant to Section 3111, and under the current contract renewal option that for an additional 12-month period from October 1st of 2019 through September 30th of 2020. Also, there's a recommendation by Recreation that council approve an expenditure in an amount not to exceed $14,450 to Superior Park Systems, the lowest responsible quote, after obtaining 3 written quotes, which are attached for resurfacing of the 2 front courts at the tennis center, as funds were also budgeted for the 1920 budget.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Through
to
the,
set
through
as
the
the-
chair, motion to move 9A through 9D.
Second.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bing.
Yes.
Mayor, if I might, 6A.
6A. Yeah, the approval of the council minutes for October 14, 2019, the regular minutes.
Through the chair, motion to move 6A.
Second.
Call the vote, please.
Vice Mayor Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bing.
Yes, we go to 11A. This is a request for tree removal by Miami-Dade Water and Sewer.
Yes, Mayor and
Warehouse.
Council. Miami-Dade Water and Sewer is getting ready to begin work on Wellhouse MS-01, which is located by the golf course parking lot on Curtis Parkway median. See attachment A to your packet. The proposed project requires building 3 new structures composed of a new, bigger well house, a generator facility, and a diesel fuel storage facility. They do have a problem in fitting these 3 facilities within the current median due to the presence of a mature oak tree, as can be seen in attachment A. In meeting with county staff, we have been able to come up with 3 options as follows. Number 1, remove the oak tree and pay mitigation to the city of planting 10 trees or paying $4,000. Number 2, relocating the oak tree. However, the probability that the tree will survive is low. And number 3, keeping the tree and extending the site into the golf course parking lot, in which case we would lose about 22 parking spaces. See attachment B. WASA's technical team is here tonight to address any technical questions council may have on this project. And it's Sonia Villamil is here, and
Good evening, members of the council. My name is Sonia Villamil. I'm an engineer with Miami-Dade Water and Sewer. We've been working on the Miami Springs well rehab project for what feels like a slight eternity, but in reality it's probably been 4 or 5 years. We've been working with the city, with the golf course, with Mr. Nash, of course. And we're really trying to be good neighbors. We're very appreciative, and we know the situation, that this is a beautiful community. Everyone loves living here, and there's certainly a reason why. We have in other situations, when possible, actually foregone a project that we had to leave a tree that was in question. Unfortunately, because of the state and federal regulations to have emergency generator power to these well houses, we have located the location of the generator building and the diesel fuel tank that goes with it in that location. At the time, it was the least impact because we didn't want to put it near in the golf course. Because it is a generator and power, we're limited to how far away we can put it. So we can't put it in the sludge lagoon and then run the wires, because you keep losing electricity the further away you go. So it just isn't really feasible to put it someplace that it's not. We'd love to stick it in the sludge lagoon. That's what solves most of our problems, but unfortunately we just can't. So I brought our engineer of record, Mr. Roger Williams, who's also been working with the city and the golf course to try to find an alternative. We know we hate to cut the tree down. We've worked with arborists, we've worked with Mr. Nash. Relocating it just seems incredibly difficult, a huge impact on the street. We'd have to cut power to get it past the power lines, possibly sticking it near a golf course where we might impact the irrigation system. So that doesn't, and the possibility of the tree living is unfortunately very slim because of the massive root structure. We also had a meeting on site, and we tried to move everything, the footprint over, just leave the tree and move everything, and that would cause us losing, or y'all losing, it was 22 parking spots during construction, but I think at the end, when we were done, in about 2 or 3 years, it worked out to maybe 11 spots. It wasn't as bad, but the city then fell with the golf course, and when y'all have special events, parking is already tight. So we went back and looked at the agreement that Water and Sewer has with the city of Miami Springs and the city of Miami from 1975. that granted us the easements and the right-of-way area that we need to work on the well house for public water supply. And that tree falls in the area, and especially the roots underneath it are really starting to almost even be a problem for the existing well. So we come to you, unfortunately, to request that we do the remediation and plant new trees and put that money to something that will actually provide a longer-term canopy than trying to relocate the tree that we just don't think will make it.
Through the chair, if I might, what is your mitigation?
The mitigation was planting 10 new trees and I think paying.
10 trees or?
No, I've
$1,000.
read it in my packet. I just wanted you to say it.
Oh, no,
Can I hear what Tom Nash has to say on this?
Yes.
One question that I have. You're going to pay for the cutting of the tree down?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the new trees and the $4,000 mitigation.
Okay.
Thank you.
In the very beginning, when we were first approached, I was very adamant about not losing the tree there. But in looking at what is there and what they have facing them, we got quotes of over $18,000 to $20,000 to relocate that tree. And based on the age of the tree and the size of the tree, there's no way it's going to survive. It's one tree that's in that island. And as she said a few minutes ago, that tree is already impacting the existing system. So eventually, if we leave it there and they find an alternative, the tree is ultimately going to end up coming down anyway because it's going to continue to damage the infrastructure that's there.
Thanks, Tom.
I have a question. Go ahead.
Go on.
So it's 4,000 or 10 trees, correct?
Correct.
So what makes more sense for us to take the 10 trees or the 4,000?
The 10 trees. I mean, all of their well houses are going to come with beautification packages, so we're going to benefit all the way around. But we can do a lot over there with what they're proposing.
You could probably get a more mature tree than we could get with $4,000. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I mean, they're going to give us, a variety of different types of trees, not necessarily one specific one. We can choose what we'd like to put over there and put them in areas that's going to be more conducive to the area.
So who's going to be planting them if we go with it?
That'll fall under their project.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a hand in it, but it'll fall under their project.
That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything?
Mayor, if I may, thank you for working with us on this. I know it's your easement, but it's really important to us to make sure that everything in the city is, as much as possible, we can maintain our tree canopy. One of the questions I guess you just answered, you're going to do a beautification of, what does that involve?
So this project is actually a two-step project. So right now we're drilling the wells to replace them because all of these water production wells have been here since 1924. I think the newest one is 1948. So we're in the process of drilling new wells, which is holes in the ground down to about 100 feet. So we have a very specialized well drilling contractor that's just doing the wells. When they're done, we're going to have another contractor who's going to come in and do the well houses, the new structures, and a generator building. So that's going to be in step 2, as we call it. So step 2 includes once we tear down the old well houses, build the new ones, we have a landscaping plan, we have a beautification effort. I'm sure Roger Williams, engineer of record, can speak more on that if you would like.
Yes.
Since I made him come here, I might as well let him.
Yes, thank you.
Good afternoon, Commission. Roger Williams, consultant for Miami-Dade Water and Sewer Department. So as part of our Step 2 documents, we did present a complete landscaping plan which synergizes with the existing aesthetics of your community. It involves the proposed facilities on the Step 2, the well house and the generator building, will be elevated 2 to 3 feet. And as part of our program, we have included pretty robust landscaping surrounding the entire facility to create some sort of a facade. Those documents were submitted to the Public Works Department, and they were approved as part of the dry run approval process. So at the termination of the project, you will, in fact, inherit a larger tree stock than is there currently.
How about irrigation? Are you going to include irrigation?
Irrigation is currently not included, but the existing facilities are irrigated. They're currently irrigated, and it's our intent to not impact the current scheme. If there is any damage to the system, it would be improved, and if it's the will of the commission, we can investigate that as part of our
So what I'm
contract.
hearing is that you will include irrigation, right?
There's currently irrigation there.
Really?
Yes.
Tom, do we
In
have
the, in the,
irrigation?
in the meeting.
Curtis.
In the golf course median or the Curtis Parkway median, there are irrigation systems there.
But where they're planning to plant all these,
Well, not all of the well houses are gonna have irrigation. There's some areas that's gonna be next to impossible to have irrigation, but under their landscape plan, they have a period of time, the grow-in period, where they're gonna be responsible for maintaining all of the new plantings and vegetation, and that if anything should not survive, they'll be responsible for coming back in and replacing that material.
thank you, Tom, thank you.
I have a few questions. Tom, so the 10 trees, if we choose the 10 trees, the 10 trees would not be for the well house, the new well house, we'd use them somewhere else, is that correct?
It'll be
Because
at
you're
our-
going to provide already landscaping for the well house.
Correct, it'll be at our
Right,
discretion.
okay, great.
Correct.
So that is an addition. And then the other thing, the footprint of these new structures, how much bigger are they than the little well house? It looks substantial. Like,
Yes,
how much
the
are we
footprint
talking
has
about?
increased at about approximately 50%. It should measure in total 150 feet in terms of general area by 65 feet. But most of it is actually green area
Mhm.
between the facilities as well.
Okay. And one last thing I'd like to ask as a suggestion, if you could take this back perhaps to water and sewer, is I think it's wonderful to have the landscaping, but a lot of times landscaping doesn't take, or we have storms and, whatever. So if possible, if there's some way that they can make the outside of the structure attractive on its own, and a lot of times that's very minimal, of just tweaking it a little bit, so it's not just a well house, a CVS block building there, but something that makes it a little more interesting in keeping perhaps with Miami Springs. I'd really appreciate it.
Paint it green, maybe?
Well, I don't know. I'd leave it up to you, but if there's perhaps something that they can do to kind of enhance the outside of it.
Understood. We will coordinate with
appreciate
your,
that.
with your building department on those requirements.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks.
We have to vote, right?
Yes,
So is there consensus on the motion?
Huh?
Is there consensus on the mitigation?
Well, I
there?
think
There
we're
is-
gonna
there
vote.
is-
Motion
We're
to.
gonna vote on that option,
You wanna vote
for
on it?
option,
I'd like to pass a motion to, with Tom Nash, go with Tom Nash's recommendation of the 10 trees.
I'll second that.
we're gonna vote on option 1, right? Removal of the oak
Correct.
tree, payment and mitigation, and 10 trees, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay. I got a
Got a 1 and
first, I
2,
got a
sir.
second. Call the vote, please.
Vice Mayor Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilman Petrolanda.
Yes.
Mayor Bay.
Yes, we're gonna go to, we're gonna go to F. 10F. Thank you.
Thank you. Look at that, you know people.
Mayor and Council, over the past month, I have been meeting with Jose Fuentes, the city's lobbyist, to discuss the upcoming 2020 legislative session and our city's funding requests for this session. We have prepared 3 funding requests for fiscal year 2020. One is the senior meals for $185,944. Second is the reintroduction of the South Royal Poinciana median project. Third is the Canal Bank restoration that we have pending. Attached to your packet are the 3 House request applications. The purpose of the discussion at this meeting is to elaborate on these requests and allow Council to add any other issues to the list. As you know, we did not receive senior meals last year since we were awarded funds for construction of the new senior center. That is why we're requesting this funding again, so that we can keep the meals and service going for another year. We're also requesting $1.5 million for the completion of the Canal Bank restoration. We have requested $2 million back in fiscal year 15-16 to complete all 5 phases, but only received $500,000. Finally, we're again requesting funding for the South Royal Poinciana median project. On another front, Representative Avila is also working at the state level regarding the issue of bed tax funding for the city. There was one last-minute project that was requested by Representative Avila, and Mr. Fuentes will elaborate on that, but he wanted to see some type of improvement project on East Drive. And we've come up with a plan, meeting with Tom and Jose, to do a type of a stormwater project on Stafford Park, at the same time including the traffic circle that we've been wanting to do on Oakwood and East Drive, repaving the entire street from South Wall Poinciana to 36th Street. In other words, milling and paving that area. Also adding some nice bollards along Stafford Park, as well as sidewalks, which currently don't exist. So I put together a package and sent it to Jose, so we can include that also as one of our requests for next year. Jose?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, good evening. We've, as it's been alluded to by the manager, we've actually met last week, and I want to thank Vice Mayor Maria Mitchell for joining and meeting with both Senator Diaz and State Representative Avila. We went through the appropriations request, which the city has. The ones described by the manager are correct. We're looking at the senior center. We're looking at the bank erosion program, and we're looking at two street projects. One, which was, as described, was not accepted last year, was in the final, but we did get an approval, obviously, for the senior center. So, you know, we are going to continue meeting with the members as far as this appropriation request. Every item that we're presenting for this legislative session, we have vetted pretty well with the state members, and we will continue to do so. I know that in the next few weeks, we'll have a few of you that will also be in Tallahassee helping to advocate on behalf of these projects, and we do appreciate that participation. It's necessary, but I will tell you that I am very appreciative of your staff. Tom Nash was very quick to prepare one of the packages that's been included in addition to the original three. And it was, you know, one day we met, the next day the package was available, so I do want to make sure that we recognize his efforts. And I don't know if there's any other questions that you have, but I do want to also thank, as I mentioned, the Vice Mayor. She was great in her first advocacy role this year. I think she did a wonderful job, and I know that the rest of the council will do equally good job in the following weeks.
Well, in my thinking, the negotiations here, with what you have these projects, the points, you know, the order that we have them, the senior meals, the Poinciana, the South Poinciana medium project, with the request of the residents and what we had, I think that's got to be up there with number 2. And then I think the East Drive Lejeune medium project's number 3. And then as far as the rocks for the canal bank, I think we can, if negotiations come out, that would be something we can say we don't need that this year, we can do it another year. That's my opinion. The 3 projects I would be shooting for.
How about the bed tax?
Oh, that's something that is going to be negotiated.
Okay.
That's something that be negotiated.
Well,
I'm talking about stuff that'd be
yeah, we had,
allocated.
you know what, Mary, you're right. We had such a good beginning with that rock thing going through all the canals and everything, and then it just freaking it died.
Yeah. But I mean, I would rather be able to get if it would take $500,000 towards the medium on Roy Poinciana, that I'd rather have that. I think we ought to go for the $500,000 for that, for the Poinciana and the East Drive project in the meals, and the project for the canal bank can be the next session.
What's the tag on the meals? The senior center meals?
It's about 200,000, 185,000.
185.
Yeah.
So let me explain a little bit of the process, and I appreciate your comments, Mr. Mayor. I think they're critically important. The way that we have selected these items is kind of based on the strength that we have as a delegation. This year, we are very fortunate that Holly Rashine, who represents Monroe County and parts of South Dade County, sits on the chair as the chair of the committee that will oversee water projects. So that's one of the reasons that the canal bank erosion project is in this package, and is obviously it's an important project for the city, and I understand the other important projects. With regards to the street projects, and I think I think Vice Mayor can say a few words maybe. We've met with two of the the state representative and the state senator, and based on their comments, they're also very strong projects. And the latter one, which I think is critically important, we're going to be looking at probably getting money for the senior program, for the meals program, out of the LSP budget, which is a little bit different. So in this role, I'm kind of like a parent. So I have 4 children, right? And these are my 4 children. So I'm going to, of course, I take into consideration that you have a project that is critically more important, but based on how the session starts to balance out, we'll know a little bit more as we're in that third quarter and fourth quarter.
All right, let me get this straight here. In what order are we going with these projects?
It's up to you. You're the
Well,
elected
that's
body.
what I'm trying to state. I'm trying to state
Well, you made a suggestion.
my suggestion
Yeah,
is,
I got it.
you know, if you're going to put, you got 1, 2, 3. As far as I'm concerned, the water project 500 would be number 4.
That's fine.
I would hope that
Is my-
because we almost had the money for South Point Sienna last year, correct?
That is correct.
That was part. So I think if we were going for that last year and we're kind of that close to getting it, that should be number 2, and then the East Drive project should be number 3, and as far as I'm concerned, the Canal Bank project number 4. But that doesn't mean we might not get 2 or 3, but we'll get 4.
Right.
I
That's
understand.
correct.
But I think that's the way I would have for this city's needs, because we promised them people on South Point Sienna that we would go for that. So I can't see putting it off the list.
And
putting
Mr.
it in
Mayor,
the paragraph.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to add, I mean, in the meetings that the Vice Mayor and I had with the state senator, there was a very strong comment as far as the fact that he understands the importance of this project and is 100% behind pushing this project. The state senator felt that he would have liked this project to have been funded last year, and he's committed to that project.
Okay.
And again, I know that the Vice Mayor, probably would like to add those comments, but I just want to also chime in and add those words.
No, and I agree. Thank you, Jose. Exactly what you've said, and I think, well, I know Senator Diaz was very committed to this project. He was surprised, at the last minute, like we all were, that
it was pulled.
Like it was pulled by the governor, but it reached. We let him know that we were very appreciative that it reached that level, that it got up that high. So I guess I'm kind of confused, and also with Representative Avila, his support means so much to our community, and that he's very committed to this project on East Drive, which is really, we're talking about that area of Miami Springs where it needs attention. I think we've all agreed that that area of Miami Springs hasn't gotten the attention that the rest of the Springs has to make it as aesthetically nice, but also easy for pedestrians to walk around, pleasant, and safe. There's a lot of safety issues there that need to be addressed. My question, Jose, is as far as putting it on the list, does it make a difference what between the 4 appropriations? Because it seems to me like we said, they're liable to pick whichever one. Is it that important for us to give it a priority?
If it's the will of the council to put them in a priority order, I will accept that. But I just want to put a footnote on that it's going to be based on what the taste of the day is, or the soup of the day.
That was the feeling I got at our meetings, this past week in Tallahassee, that it really has to do with, how committed or I don't want to say committed, because I know our legislators are very committed to all of our needs, but what they feel is feasible and what they can move along.
So as you all know, the governor has put a very strong education package in place. And in order to fund that education package, that money's going to come from somewhere. So as we go through this legislative process, we'll know where that money is coming from, right? So, but I don't think it's a problem to have a ranking, because it gives us kind of a direction that we want to go in. But at the same time, I will come to you and advise you, or through the manager, advise you where each of the projects is in the process. But
And then you can eliminate one and go for the other three.
right, if that's the
Okay,
situation.
but,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, and
so
I have
what
no
I'm
problem
trying
with
to
what you're
do-
saying, Mayor.
What I'm trying to do is tonight to get a commitment to rank them, go the meals for the seniors, the Point Siena, because I think we were so close last year, the East Drive project, which we have support from Avilar,
Canal.
and then we go ahead and the Canal Bank would be number 4.
For next year.
Yeah, that's, I'm trying to say that, and you keep knocking me down.
Nope, I'm not knocking him. Just saying.
I don't think he is. No, I don't think he is. I don't
Okay,
think he
and
is.
now that's so that's so that the 4 of us, and 5,
we're
have what we have in mind of what we think is more important to our city.
I like your order, but I don't want us to ignore the bed tax either.
Okay.
Yes.
Or we get whatever they're willing to give us, we'll take.
Yes.
No.
I mean, it's negotiations. If you have to throw out 2 for 3 and get 3, or throw out 3 to get 4, I don't care. But I think we should go for in that order because of the fact that a year ago we promised the people on the east side on the Point Siena.
We did.
And that was one of our number 1 projects. Well, now this year it can't be put aside because something comes up about East Drive and the rocks, you know?
No, that's later. I agree with that.
Okay.
And again, I just want to reemphasize that Senator Diaz is very, very much behind that
I
project.
know he is.
He's committed 100%.
I know he is, but it's not on the list. You don't see the list. It's not
Oh,
on
I'm
the
sorry, I
list.
don't see the.
Yeah, it's not on the list. That's what I'm trying to say. It's in a paragraph. All right. So we're going to make a vote that that's the way we're going to support it. Do we need a vote that that's the way we're going to support it?
I think consensus will handle it, sir.
Consensus, we
I believe-
agree?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Anybody have any objection?
No. Okay. All right. There you go.
Thank
I'll
you.
write it down for you in order. Huh?
Text me
You'll put it in
anytime.
the paper.
Thank you, Jose.
Jose,
Yes.
give me a call, will you?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and
Thank
Vice
you.
Mayor.
Thank you.
Mayor, could we move up 11D so that Paul can get out of here?
Holy Odell.
Paul doesn't get up early in the morning. He
Go-
don't need it.
Gomez Adams in previous Halloween parties.
Come on up, Paul.
Right back there.
11D, let's go.
This is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Miami Springs amending the schedule of golf charges and fees for the operation of the Miami Springs Golf and Country Club, reserving the right and authority to amend or supplement the schedule of charges and effective date. This is what Paul does every year to set his winter golf rates.
What's that noise?
Static.
Okay.
That's not me.
That's your personality, Paul.
What can I tell you?
Electric.
Do we have any
Comes with age.
any questions or any
I have
changes
nothing.
that
I've read through it 3 times. I'm
just-
fine with it, sir.
I'm good with it.
just normal changes?
Normal changes we do every year.
Normal changes, and it is subject to change as the landscape changes and
Right.
the marketplace changes.
Right.
Mayor, if I may, I just wanted to make one comment. When I was in Tallahassee last week, I met with 2 other legislators who happened to be from South Florida who were up there during session, and they both commented on Miami Springs Golf Course. They said they play here regularly, and they said it has improved so much. And this was without asking. They just said it's amazing. Who's ever been responsible for your golf course has done a phenomenal job.
No, that's Lori.
Exactly. That's Lori and Mason.
Lori
It's a
Blank.
team effort. It's you guys, it's the manager, it's everybody. We all do it together.
It's a team.
But it's a team. Yeah, it's a team.
Thank you.
You're so kind. You're so nice.
I just tell the truth. It's them.
Any questions? Can I have a motion for the?
You got a motion, sir.
Can I have a second? Call a vote, please.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Thank
Yes.
you, Paul.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilman Petrolanda?
Yep.
Mayor Bain?
Yes. All right, we go to
Thanks,
update
Paulie.
10A.
10A.
Update on the electrical work on Westwood Drive.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this is a recommendation by Public Works that Council approve an expenditure in an amount not to exceed $20,980 to Computer Electric, the lowest responsible quote after obtaining 3 written quotes which are attached, for electrical work needed to install lights on oak trees located on Westwood Drive between Curtis Parkway and Park Street, as funds were allocated in designated fund balance in the fiscal year 1920 budget. During the October 14th, 2019 council meeting, staff was directed to obtain quotes for the electrical work needed in order to do the tree lighting project on Westwood Drive. This will provide electrical service to the 12 trees located within this area. The following are the 3 quotes, and I list them for you. We have $20,000 in designated fund balance. Should council wish to implement this project, staff would request A, approval to award the contract to the lowest bidder, Computer Electric, and B, approval to use designated fund balance of $20,000 plus an additional $980 to cover the shortfall.
The first part of your readings there, you said Curtis Parkway.
On Westwood Drive between Curtis Parkway and Park Street.
Okay, you're talking Curtis Parkway as the circle.
Right,
Okay,
by Harvest Moon.
some people get confused.
Yeah.
It's the circle through Westwood Drive.
I have a question, Mayor. Regarding the different bids, I know that other than the price, what is the difference between these bids? The quality's the same, the amount of plugs or electrical outlets are
I
the
guess
same?
since Computer Electric is the city's electrician, they're under contract with us. You know, originally they came in anywhere between 18 and 25. And that's why this was months ago when we first discussed this. So Tom went back to him and said, I need you to, we're going to get quotes. I need you to look at it again and come up with your best price. And that's how he was able to come up with that price.
But compared to the other two quotes, they're about the same quality-wise,
Oh, yeah,
everything
Computer
else?
Electric is,
Just the price is the only difference?
Right, right.
Okay. You need a motion for tonight for
Yes.
completion?
Yes.
And this is, when we vote on this, it's complete, it's gonna be done?
Yep.
I need a
Motion to move, sir.
Second.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilman Petrolanda?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes. Do
Great.
we need to have something from the people that are gonna donate the lights?
No, I'll get with
Wait,
Charlie
let me
Leonard.
finish.
Yeah.
Do we need something in writing that they're committing to do that before we put all this electric in? You know, I mean,
It's
it's
not-
their
it's not a
word.
ba- It's not a bad idea.
I mean, it's their
We-
word.
We
not-
are detrimentally relying on their promise.
And their
so-
promise, so I think there should be pending, we made the motion, but pending some kind of a paper that they're committed to do this.
And,
Or
maybe a
delivery.
sunset on it?
Huh?
Maybe a sunset on it by a certain time kind of thing?
Well, something that
Yeah.
they're committed to do it, I mean, and it's nothing personal to anybody.
Or
It's-
or
it's
delivery of the
business.
lights.
It's business, yes,
I mean, if they deliver the lights, we'll take that too.
whatever, something.
But you don't wanna do that because you have to store in that lights.
We'll talk to Charlie.
Okay.
Maybe the money
Alright.
in the bank.
You go with it,
account,
or you want an
No, you
addendum?
said- Well, I think we should at least have consensus that we need some kind of
That we want to confirm. that-
Something to confirm that-
To confirm that,
that it's
reconfirm
right.
that, yes, that we're ready to go with this and that they're still.
this is the best interest of the city.
Okay, I retract I retract my motion, and I will re-motion that we do this with the addendum that we just mentioned.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilman Petrolanda?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes. Okay, we go to, I guess we're 11B is
11B.
First reading of an ordinance.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this is actually sponsored by Councilwoman Sabata, who's not here. An ordinance of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, amending Chapter 93, Waste Removal and Property Maintenance, the City Code of Ordinances, modifying bulk pickup procedures, providing for implementation, providing for incorporation of the code, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. Mayor and Council, just two things of note. First, this came up as I mentioned, sponsored by Councilwoman Sabata, regarding properties that have bulk pickup in the front of their properties because for one reason or another they are not serviced by alleys. When I reviewed the chapter, I realized that there was one section of the chapter that talked about bulk pickup, but it really wasn't defined anywhere else. I mean, it's sort of like a hodgepodge ordinance over the years. So bulk pickup is defined, and thereafter, it's basically providing some requirements for bulk pickup materials distributed on those, how they are deposited on those properties before they are picked up. I mean, essentially, I think the issue that the councilman is trying to address is the fact that if you have bulk pickup on a Thursday, you can put all of your debris on a Friday, and you as a property that's serviced by the front of your home now have a mound of trash for 7 days in front of your property until it's collected the following week. If those of us that have alleys, we don't have that issue because if it's unsightly, it's in the back. So you're looking at homes along Hunting Lodge, homes along Royal Point Sienna, and
The lakes.
The lakes, of course.
Yeah.
So I don't know how chronic a problem it is. Again, it was sponsored by her. It's up to you if you want to hear it, if you want to defer it, so she can make her arguments. Up to you.
I'll just say this, this was brought up my first term. And the people who owned them places didn't like it very much at all because they're basically they pay the most taxes of anybody around the golf course. And they were very upset at the time. I don't know, it might be different now, but they're very upset at the time because some of them aren't young like spring chickens to bring everything out one day before trash pickup. It was a big issue, and it goes to where it was in Bluebird too, with the people around Bluebird. So
I think
I'm just this is something that's a rewind.
I think we should.
It's a rewind.
I think tonight is inappropriate that we go with this. I think as a council, what we need to do is ride around and see if this is in fact a big problem or not. Before we do anything.
We can table it. And
I'd like to table it, sir.
Give the courtesy to the councilwoman to be here.
To be here as well.
Or defer it to the next meeting.
We'll defer to the next meeting.
I'm fine, sir.
Okay.
I would just, to give everyone an opportunity to think about it, because I'm one of those homes that would be affected by this. I think the issue, I don't really have a problem with, not being able to put the trash out there all a week. We need to try to keep Miami Springs as attractive as possible, and if we don't have the ability to put the stuff in the alley, so be it. That's, just one of those circumstances of where we live. But I think 24 hours is very short notice because it's very difficult, if you're not home the day before to get all of that out there. So I would like to suggest perhaps 48 hours.
Well, I'll go even further than that. You have sometimes when, because you drive on Poinciana where they have, and they put their trash out. There are times when they're trimming trees and trimming shrubbery. To have them put, and I don't find it egregious because I drive through there every day to go to work and come home and drive around. Even on Bluebird, that I don't find anything that these people are doing that's egregious that has to be supplemented with the new ordinance, in my opinion. Because you got to remember, if you cut down some branches and some different things that you have in your yard, you're making them stored in their yard, and then giving them 24 or 48 hours to pull all out in front of the medium. You go Westward Drive, you go on Hunting Lodge where I picked up my brother to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't find anything that is outside of the ordinary as far as that catches my eye. That it's bad.
I would say that the yard debris is acceptable because, you've done a massive trimming and stuff, but when there's lawn furniture out there, a mattress, and that definitely detracts from the neighborhood, and I see that and on Bluebird where I live too, so I think that perhaps we can put something in there of yard debris might be more allowed for a longer period of time, but, just there's no reason to be throwing out, bed frames and all these things and leaving them there for a week.
That's not fair because you don't have an alley. Now
That's the circumstances of, not having an alley.
No, you're discriminating against somebody that has something and somebody that doesn't. You're making a person that because because of his or her reason doesn't have an alley. You're putting a rule or law on them versus somebody that has an alley.
Well, I think we've got homes here in Miami Springs. Some of them have sidewalks and some of them don't. I mean, that's just a situation of where you happen to have bought a home. I think that's not unreasonable.
I'm going to go back to what I suggested earlier, that we take a look at this and bring it back next time.
All right.
Is that a motion to defer?
To defer.
Yes, second.
Yeah, to defer, and I think we got to have more discussion on it than just another reading on it.
I'd like to look at this a little more myself. I mean, I saw it on the agenda, early in the week, but I haven't had really the time to get around and take a look at this. I agree with the mayor that I don't think it's been that egregious, and Bluebird, I know where you are. It's not bad at all there. If there's one,
I don't want to make a law or new law.
No, that's what I mean.
I don't want to make laws on just because one or two people are complaining about it and all the 48 people are not.
You're playing.
I just don't go for that kind of thing.
You're saying the same thing I am.
Okay.
So again, what we'll do is just
defer and have and maybe put it on for discussion.
This won't count as a reading. We'll have just, I guess,
Yeah,
second,
discussion's
first
fine,
reading, but
yeah.
we won't count this as a reading.
Okay. Resolution C.
11C, this is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Miami Springs providing for the fifth and final budget amendment to the fiscal year 18-19 budget, general fund, special revenue, and capital projects fund budgets to record funding for the new senior center facility, funding for additional street and road repairs within the CITT fund, use of technology and scanning fees by the building department to fund technology improvements and scanning services, and funding legal costs related to annexation lawsuit and providing for an effective date.
Motion.
Motion to move, sir.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call a vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilman Petrolano?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes, we go to D.
Want to read the bank one?
Huh? Are you running the meeting or me? It's another number, 11D.
I think we're E, sir.
11E.
11E. I got a.
This is a resolution of the mayor and city council of Miami Springs, Florida, awarding request for proposal 07-1819 for capital improvement and equipment acquisition revenue note to BB&T, authorizing the execution of the revenue note in the amount not to exceed
$555.
I'm sorry, $555,419 at a fixed rate of 12.2.
2.1.
Oh my goodness.
Glasses on?
You got
I have glasses.
You got my disease. She's got my disease.
That's funny. Tammy, that's funny.
2.12%
Yeah.
for 5 years
Yep.
for the purchase of police equipment and software, infrastructure improvements to City Hall, and open areas. I don't know what happened there, but golf course improvements and equipment acquisition, and parks improvements, authorizing the execution and delivery of all other documents required in connection therewith, providing for implementation, providing for conflicts, and providing for an effective date.
Nice job. Motion to move, sir.
I'll second it.
For discussion. Is this budgeted?
Yes.
It's budgeted
Yes, it
with,
is.
because it doesn't say that. It's budgeted with.
It's in the memo.
It's in the
In
memo.
the memo. All right. Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilman Petrolano?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes, we go to 12A.
Heavy bench.
This is a consideration of council rescheduling the first meeting in November to Tuesday, the 12th, November 12th, and to cancel the meetings the 25th, November 25th, and December 23rd.
Motion to move. Oh, come on. No, we do this all the time, please.
It
This
seems
is not
like
a new
last
thing
year,
here.
No, but Councilman, it seems like last year we wound up having the November meeting the Monday after Thanksgiving.
I think the 24th.
No, it was a different scenario
It was
last
a different,
remember?
but it was
You
just,
remember?
okay, and then we weren't going to have a December meeting, was it?
Yes,
I
it
just
just
remember
didn't-
this, the
Thanksgiving
Monday
was
after
earlier.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Pardon
so
me?
we had
Because
an extra
Thanksgiving was
Monday.
early, was that what it was?
I
Okay.
agree with doing
Okay.
the,
All right.
after Veterans Day on the 11th, doing it the 12th for sure,
That's a-
but Thanksgiving and then Christmas, I mean, yeah.
I'll entertain a motion.
You have one, sir.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilman Petrolano?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes. Attorney, city attorney, anything from you?
Nothing for me, Mayor, Council.
City management?
Tammy's going to go into some events for you, but I know you've heard about the new holiday home project that we're undertaking. We have it online for people that decorate their homes for the holidays. They can call up the city clerk's office or go online at info@miamisprings-fl.gov and give us their address, and then the Parks and Rec Board will be out December 3rd, I guess, visiting all the homes, and they'll pick 3 winners. Mr. Leonard from Leonard Real Estate graciously donated some gift certificates. So it'll be $100 or $50 for second place and $25 for third place.
Could people nominate homes, or you have
Yeah,
to
you
go?
can just call up and give us an address, but the homeowner would need to know that you're not.
Right, but I can nominate the mayor's house.
Why would you? Why would you?
I just don't want.
I know, I seen what
I
you
just
did.
don't want Charlie using all his lights
No,
to
wait
win
a
this
minute. Whoa, whoa,
contest.
whoa. Hey, how can the house? Hey,
That's
wait a
what I'm
minute.
worried about.
Just a second.
Then we're getting used lights.
Wait a minute. How can the
Yeah.
house? How can the house
That's
on
what I'm
Hunting Lodge, right at the curve there,
Yes.
possibly lose?
That's in Virginia Gardens, isn't it?
No.
Oh, that's in-
You mean Kenny's?
How can it? No, not Amendolas. Right after.
All right, listen, you're tainting they're tainting the barrel.
Not tainting anything.
You're
I'm
tainting
just
the barrel.
mentioning.
You are. Good thing you didn't say the address, or he'd
I
be
didn't.
disqualified.
I gave no address.
You know, Council, Bob,
Yes, sir.
it's really funny that you brought that house up, and we're
Good
not
year.
going to say which one it is, because I was at a wedding with the owners of that home, and that's where I came up with the idea.
Oh, see, now it's not.
But we're not saying which
all
is the home.
All right, we probably shouldn't discuss this anymore then.
Okay, on that note.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to remind everybody, we still have the pumpkin patch going on Curtis Parkway until the 31st. We have the Sebastian Strong on November 9th from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Curtis Mansion. And last but not least, we will not be here, have the meeting until after Veterans Day ceremony. So that'll be held on Monday, November 11th at 10 a.m.
And
With
then
your MC, Councilman Bob
Bob
Best.
Best.
Yes, I will be doing it.
We
I
have to-
appreciate that. I'm humbled by you guys asking me to do it.
We have to do. We have to recognize the new lighting in the mansion going up.
Yeah.
That's looking really pretty and really nice. You know,
Sure
I saw
is.
that going up.
Yeah.
And you know they're doing one pole at a time, just like they were supposed to do.
Today we went there, they've done the whole entrance,
Yep.
and they were now working on the parking lot.
That's right.
You know what I was going to
I
ask?
don't know if I would ever want to live right there by the mansion. Anyway.
You know what I was going to ask him while he's got or him, while the administration has the floor
Well,
here.
go ahead.
No, real quick. No,
Wait.
no, I don't.
That's
I'm-
his spot.
I'm messing up here. Do you have anything else from the? Oh, okay. It's your turn, Bob.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you, Mayor. I was just going to ask if we have any update on the new project at Hook Square, because I see a lot of stuff, a lot of heavy equipment and stuff in there. There's a bunch of stuff going on.
Well, that heavy equipment, I think,
That's all-
belongs to Wassa. They were using that as a staging site.
That has nothing to do with the new project.
No. That was, they allowed Wassa to use it
park
as
there?
they're finished with that project.
But do we have a timeline on?
I met with them today. It should
Okay.
be in the next week or two. There are some issues that they need to work out with an adjacent property owner, but it should be in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yeah, I have
Councilman?
one other thing, and I don't know how to bring this up really, but I'm going to try anyway. I don't know, and I've said this up here many times over the years I've been sitting here, how you tell somebody what to do with their house. And their property, I should say, more specifically. A lot of residents, I say a lot, probably a dozen, over the last 2 or 3 weeks have approached me and said, what is this about people concreting their whole front yard? They cited 3 or 4 examples. I went and looked at them all. But in doing so, I've seen others that are also doing this. I know what the code says, percentage and all of this, but is there something wrong with this? I mean, we're a tree city. They're eliminating green space. These people are right that have approached me. I just wanted to bring that up. I know we have no authority to deal with this tonight because it's not an issue.
Well, they put on the agenda. And
No, you know what? I'd like to.
Code and planning and zoning, we can take a look at it.
Yeah.
I really would for like the next meeting.
Okay.
And it'll give us all a chance, including Mara, to take a look at it, ride around, and just see this. It's appalling. It really is appalling.
We'll check it out.
Thank you, Mayor. That's all I have. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Same to you, Bob. Nice costume.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead. Jaime, anything?
Yes. I want to acknowledge the folks from Parks and Parkway for taking on this new project, the Holiday Home Contest. I'm very thankful for them. I would just wonder, maybe we can extend it next year and include Halloween, because a lot of people go all out and do this for Halloween too. I don't know if
Well,
that's something
we
we
put
want
it on
to
the
do.
agenda. We'll talk about it.
Okay, can we put it on the next agenda, I guess? Because I like to recognize some of the people, some of the folks that live in the city that they go all out in Halloween too.
Okay.
And I like to, give them a chance to go out and do
be recognized. Be recognized.
Yeah, or
be judged,
you know,
recognized.
let the Parkways board go out and judge these homes and pick 1, 2, and 3 winners too.
Okay.
So,
All right.
No, Michael Wyndham's gonna
I
win.
know, I was thinking of you.
Anything else?
What?
But we can only win once a year.
Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilman Petrolanda, I wanted to tell you, I think it's a great idea, the holiday tree light, house lighting, and it'll go right in line with when we have Westward Drive all lit up and bright, you know, to just make Miami Springs a place for people to come visit during the holidays and drive around and, you know, notice.
Make more traffic.
Bigger hugs.
Make
you know,
more
group
traffic,
hugs.
you know.
Opportunity.
Just what our residents want. So go
But
ahead.
it's a great way in the holidays. You know, people love to get together and just drive around with the kids and show them houses and all.
We,
and
we
this
like
will be
that so
wonderful.
much that we're not meeting in December, the holiday. That's, you know, I like this council, man. I like it, baby.
Okay.
We're not meeting, though.
The
I'll
other
never see
thing-
you till after the new year.
Oh no!
I'll be so happy since we're not.
I'll stop by. I'll just stop by.
No, you better not. No, it's okay. You're
Why would
welcome.
she not?
You're
That's
welcome.
cool. If she'd say
At the mayor's house.
Okay. He's been saying that for years since I've been on here. The fish fry and
Well,
all this.
You know, things have
It's a
changed.
fish tail.
Votes have gone the wrong way. Things
Yeah.
have changed. You know.
Okay, the farmers market. I just wanted to acknowledge Martha and all her work at putting the farmers market and starting up. It's such a nice event that we have every single Saturday when you go around and people are out, and it's at the heart of our city. So I wanted to thank her and everyone who participates in the farmers market. And the other thing is the Halloween costume party that the Parks and the Rec Department put together was just so much fun. It's a great opportunity for the kids to come out and show their Halloween costumes, and then that led into Saturday's event at the Circle, which was spectacular too. So to thank them for that and everyone that participated. And the last thing is just to mention my visit to Tallahassee last week. I really appreciated the opportunity to be there and to meet with our legislators and talk about our appropriations and other issues that are very important to our community. And some of the issues that we've just touched on here, I don't want to say anything else, but they're in the works. So I think hopefully we'll have some positive motion on some of these other issues too.
Thanks
Very
for
important
thanks
to
for
us.
going up, Vice Mayor.
I got a letter. It's right here in front of me. It's to Mayor Dino too. I don't want to mention any names, but I'm gonna give it to you, and I want the man to think about this. The feeding of the ducks on the canal banks. They showed pictures of the feces and so on that's going all over on the walkway. You can't, we're not allowed to. We're in this city. We don't feed animals. It's against our ordinance or our laws.
There's signs to that effect.
I know, but I believe that you got to go ahead and somehow, if somebody's feeding them, there's got to be an enforcement mechanism, a fine or something, because they feel like, and I understand that people love the animals and everything, but you find these animals dead on the roads, because part of the reason is just the other day, this person was feeding these ducks, and this isn't from me, it's my own experience. This person was feeding the ducks, and the ducks followed her. She went across the road, and I saw her, and them ducks followed right behind her, because she's feeding them. If I wasn't, and it's at dusk in the morning, you don't see that. They're dark animals, dark birds. I almost got them. Wow. That close. But this feeding of the iguanas in the one spot that somebody feeds the iguanas, which we get all kind of complaints about the iguanas, and this feeding of these ducks, which are Muscovy ducks, which aren't.
On the Esplanade and Cardinal are probably the two most.
Right. And there's some. This is on Ludlam. And she's telling whoever this is. It's not a he or she. He or she's telling them they're having the same problem in Virginia Gardens on the path on Ludlam.
On VG, yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's something we gotta somehow get an enforcement mechanism that these people are feeding the ducks. And there's homes within the city that they feed them right in their yard, and there's 30 ducks in this person's yard, and then they go do their business to the next door neighbor. So I think maybe after the first of the year we'll put it on on the agenda, not the 12th.
Let's
and
do it.
See what we can do about it.
This includes cats too?
Cats.
Well, cats
Oh,
seem to.
remember we got into that once a
but
few
as
years
far-
back? Oh.
Yeah, but as far as the cat population, like my brothers, I got brothers spread out through the city. The cat population seems to be definitely more controlled than when I first came into office.
Thanks to Laney Silva.
Well, I know, but it seems more controlled. The colony that was on the outgoing bridge is gone. There was another colony the cats that were at the high school. That colony's gone. So I think that their theory on how to get rid of them without euthanizing them
Good one.
was well, in my opinion's not a good one, but I don't like to see something live that don't have no ambition to live.
Oh,
But
stop it.
I think that's worse. No, I think it's a worse. It's a
No
worse.
ambition to live. What do you mean?
You neuter them, and all they want to do is eat and sleep, and I think that's a slow death instead of a fast one.
So if you didn't have to go to work
My
every day,
opinion.
you'd like the same thing.
That's my opinion. Don't get mad at me because that's my opinion.
I'm not
that's
mad
my
at
opinion.
you. I'm not mad at you.
But anyway, I think that problem's solved. But we got to do something about these feeding. We got to have a mechanism to tell these people they can't feed.
No,
them.
I agree with that.
This meeting's adjourned. Oh, by the way,
Uh-oh.
wait, I got something else to say.
Uh-oh.
Happy Halloween. Here, send this to very minor, I know.
Maria, are you going back up there again?
No, you guys are going, right?
No, we're thinking about it. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for going up.
No, but go, Bob. You know what? It really makes a difference.
No presents.
And WBG always goes, they get their information out of, so I hope y'all go because
I saw that
it's
you
worth,
went. I said,
it's worth it, it's like.
Was that in Springs connection?
The big moves,